The Beanstalk update is arguably one of the best updates that we have received inside of Grow a Garden. Not only does the Beanstalk offer you a lot of free prismatic seeds when you actually contribute to it, but there is a lot more that came with this update, such as the garden guide, allowing you to see literally every single thing inside of the game about pets, cosmetics, food, plants, all that good stuff. But they also added achievements in which you can complete them in order to get a grand prize of a statue of achievements. Not to mention, they allow you to get silver prismatic seed packs for free, which guarantee you to get a prismatic that comes in silver or above. But in this video, I wanted to gather some suggestions coming together from the previous update, as well as what a lot of people have been requesting, and put it all in one video in the hopes of the developer seeing it and we get it added in an update. As you know, when I made one of these before, the developers listened. They listened to the pet mutations update and it eventually got added. Same with things such as the sprinkler. A lot of people have suggested that, you know, we got a brand new sprinkler, and would you look at that, we got the Grandmaster one. But let's get into these suggestions or features that Grow a Garden should definitely add within the next few updates. The first suggestion I have is actually a quality of life suggestion, and if you don't know what that is, it basically is something that makes the game feel better or easier to play. And well, if I go and take a look at my inventory, you'll see that I have some ridiculous fruits here. The ones that I have favorited are completely massive, and they literally take up the whole screen, and every single player inside of the game can see that, and there is nothing they can do about it except leave the server, which if I were to guess, it ultimately hurts the game itself. But if we could get a setting that allowed us to disable or kind of hide the effects of fruits, I think that would be a lot better, especially for users who tend to lag when, you know, somebody just whips out a bone blossom that has every single mutation in their face. But I think that it's also going to increase the performance of the game and how easy it is to run, especially for some of you guys who are on lower end devices. But ultimately, it's going to feel better and easier to see when you're trying to actually look at, you know, the thing itself. The next suggestion I have is something that so many of you guys have been requesting for, and that is to finally get a seed that is transcendent inside the game. As you guys can see, currently the entire shop is just prismatics. Well, not the entire shop, but the best stuff inside the shop are prismatics. And with this brand new update, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 prismatic seeds. This beanstalk right here is actually super easy to get. I'll show y'all later on in the video how you can easily get it. Like, I'm talking like you can get 2 every like 15 minutes possibly. And yeah, you can tell I have a lot of them over here inside my garden because of this collection, bro. But I think it is finally time to get a second transcendent in the game. At the moment, we actually only have one. You can view this inside of the plant section, and right here, as you can see, the only one we have is the bone blossom, which currently is not obtainable. As you can see, it does say it's an event exclusive, so this is never coming back into the game. And I also like how it shows all the information here, bro. Like, you can see which one I've got with all the mutations, how valuable it was and stuff. That's so cool. But other than that, guys, there has literally never been a prismatic or a transcendent inside of the game, and it's been actually a few weeks. I think around a month now since we got the bone blossom. I think it would finally be really cool. It doesn't necessarily have to be better than the bone blossom, but something to place inside of the shop that is transcendent. That way there is a little bit of a higher standard to look for rather than just prismatics over and over again, and it just makes the game feel like it's repeating itself. This transcendent could also be inside of a merchant maybe instead. Like, currently we got the sky merchant, but imagine we had like a merchant called like the night market or something. It sells prismatic stuff with a very, very low chance to carry a transcendent, and the stuff in there could be just very expensive because, like, as you can see, I have 400 quadrillion or quintillion shekels, so I'm quite literally never going to run out, and that is a little bit of a problem for the game because, you know, I used to need to make shekels in order to buy stuff. Now I can afford every single thing inside the game. As y'all can see, I also went ahead and made a concept of this. I thought of the cosmic pepper. If you guys don't know, a lot of the seeds that we've like basically been receiving in the game, especially ones that are prismatic, it kind of has to do with something that was previously in the game, such as like the giant pine cone, or not the giant pine cone, but the elder strawberry seed. You know, it's kind of an evolutionary version of the strawberry seed. Same with like the sugar apple and the beanstalk. Who knows, maybe we could get a mega beanstalk as the first transcendent, but I thought of a cosmic pepper just because I feel like when the game took off, in case you guys didn't know, the pepper was recently introduced to the game. That's like when the game increased in players by so much. So in honor of that, I think it'd be really cool to have a cosmic pepper. Who knows? But we are going to ignore the fact that cosmic pepper is a type of cologne and there's no such fruit about it. Hopefully the developers don't notice that. There has also been great suggestions in the past, such as this octopus fruit by this Lutu Melbish person. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but as you can see, it looks really cool. This is honestly one of my favorite concepts, and I'm so surprised the developers haven't introduced something like this. They might be going specifically for a style that, you know, is realistic with the plants, but I mean, we got a bone blossom, bro. There ain't no such real thing as a bone blossom. And last time I checked, there was no fruit as big as this princess thorn ever in real life. I have never seen something as big as this. And to add on to that, I mean, we could see this getting a new type of achievement for it. Right now, we're only at the prismatic achievements. If you guys didn't know, they actually plan to give out the bone blossom once again when this update had just came out. This comes to be a secret to most people, but I actually went ahead and showed it in my update video, where as you can see, the prismatic achievements used to work completely differently, and they would actually reward you a bone blossom seed, a sprout seed pack, sprout crate, and a sprout egg instead of the prismatic seed. So who knows, we could possibly see that come back in some way or form. It could be replaced as the grand prize, or it could be a brand new reward inside the daily quest, or even a reward for getting to a certain level. And if you guys don't know, you literally just level up by finishing achievements. There's one I have right here called Plant 3 Romanescos, and I do already actually have one planted, so I'm gonna go ahead and claim that. And basically all I do, bro, this is an insane trick, but you can reclaim what you have and then plant it back down, and guess what, that just counted towards my quest, and we are done with that. There we go, 1000 XP, just like that. I can keep doing this too. This one says harvest 10 gold ember lilies, bro. I mean, it's just so easy to do. But this next suggestion I also have is something y'all have been requesting for literally as long as I can think of. And that suggestion is the lock feature. As you guys can see right here, new gear item lock, rarity prismatic type gear, and the function is to lock a fruit, this allowing players to steal it, which can be protected up to 3 uses according to this suggestion at least. The lock has been something in request for literally so long, and the reason for that is because you could literally have one fruit with all the mutations on it, and just imagine a random player comes into your game and they just steal it from you. Or if it's on your alt account, you're trying to access something here, and since the plant is so big, you can literally reach it from a million miles away, and so you end up stealing your own stuff. That actually happened with this thing right here inside my inventory, this bone blossom that I was using in order to get millions of. Yeah, it happened with this thing. But this serves as a very fair suggestion because it allows, or it prevents people from just spending 37 Robux in order to get something that is worth quadrillions or even quintillions now. If they don't want to make it a gear, they could literally make it a craftable as well. Recently in the newest update, something good they added was this thing right here, the pet patch, which increases your pet inventory slots by 1. And in order to get this is just by crafting it. I think this is very cool. It's fine. You know, it's a little bit challenging, but that's perfect. It could be done the same way for the lock, and maybe it has like 3 uses, so you can apply it to 3 different fruits. I don't know. That is completely up to the developers how they want to balance it, but it would be very nice to finally get it, bro. It has been far too long, man. That's actually what the favorite tool is supposed to do, because it prevents you from collecting it. A lot of people thought they were going to fix it, as they said, to where other players couldn't steal something that is favorited too, but that never ended up happening, and you ended up being able to steal favorited stuff all the time. In case the developers want to keep up their revenue with the stealing feature, what they can do is possibly even introduce something else on top of it, aka an unlocking tool, or like a lock picking picking tool before you steal. And who knows, maybe the lock picking tool if they are gonna ever implement it, it should be way harder to get than the locking tool, so that way people actually have to really try and dedicate themselves to unlock something. This next suggestion is a massive one because you may have not came into realization with this, but this person said make the long ability cooldowns never reset. If you don't know already, if you actually have something that has a ridiculously long cooldown and is like, for example, very good. For example, I'm gonna just say my Tranquil Disco Bee, right? It has a 24-minute cooldown in order to apply the Tranquil mutation. Yeah. Now, that is not necessarily a very long cooldown, but for example, if you actually have a very rare mutation called the Ascended, it uses this ability every 6 hours. And if you actually just leave the game, the ability timer completely resets back up to 6 hours. I can see how that, is a problem and it may be hard to fix, but if it is possible to do, I highly recommend the developers do it. It's a very good quality of life feature, and well, it doesn't punish you literally for 6 hours just because you decided to leave the game. And some people randomly disconnect, hence why we need the setting that prevents us from seeing all those effects on super big fruits. The next suggestion I have is something that we have once again also been asking for a very long time. I think it's going to make the game so much better, but a brand new gear that lets us view the next possible events coming into the game. This would be so nice because now we have the ability to, in case you guys didn't know, something really cool they did was the ability to have multiple weather events happen at the same time. That actually wasn't possible 2 updates ago, but ever since then, they've gone ahead and changed it, and now it is actually possible for you to get bloodlit as well as acid rain at the same exact time, or aurora even. But the current only way to know that what the next possible event is or what is currently active inside the game is by using malicious bots, I guess. It's not necessarily malicious because it's completely not against the rules. But as you guys can see right here in my Discord server, we have this bot that actually notifies you when a certain type of weather event is going on. It's pretty cool, and it tells you instantly as soon as it starts, so it's always accurate. But what if there was the ability to predict what is coming out or to be notified of a certain type of event that is starting? Jandal did mention that in the future, similar to the most recent update, he wants to add cosmetics inside of the game that do stuff for you. So for example, now we have the cooking kit that allows you to cook once again, and as you can see, I just made a smoothie with it. Since I do have a quest where it's telling me to cook 100 blueberries or whatever it was, I am just gonna go ahead and spam in a bunch of these blueberries. But what if that same machine, you could have another machine inside of your garden that's a cosmetic that allows you to see what the next weather event is? It sounds so cool, bro, and I would love to see it inside the game. Maybe you can activate it by paying some shekels. It doesn't even have to be a crazy price. 1 million shekels in order for you to see what the next upcoming event is, and you can constantly go ahead check, so that way you know when you should be in the game for whatever is coming out. A lot of people have made this suggestion in the past. I also did include it multiple times, but now that the developers are doing the new golden era of Grow Garden, we could finally see some of these things happening and getting added into the game. The last and final suggestion I thought was so cool that I should include in this video is this pet incubator. As you can see, what does it do? When you place an egg inside the machine, it costs 50 billion shekels to start the incubation. So it basically starts for 50 billion. That's a good way to get rid of shekels. But the pet's hatch speed is doubled, and it has a 5% chance to hatch with the mutation and a 2.5% chance to be a bigger size, or like a giant. This would honestly be such a nice thing to add within the mutations update, because right now, if I'm gonna be honest, one of the only ways you're gonna get this rainbow mutation is if, one, you spend Robux in order to try and land on this random mutation. As you can see, it's guaranteed in 125 chests that you do get something rainbow inside of this thing. Or if you're not doing that, you literally have to pray to everything that you love, bro, that, you actually get a good mutation out of this. The only really good one, in my opinion, here is just gonna be the rainbow mutation, but who knows? It's very difficult to get. Plus, you gotta get your pets to level 50 every time. Let me know what you guys think of these suggestions. And look, as I said that, bro, there's 2 mutations going on right now. 2 weather events. You got Frozen or Frost, as well as the Moonlit mutation. But it would be really cool, like I said, to see the Transcendent, the first ever one inside of the shop here. I think that would just be so nice, bro. Like, come on, finally give it to us. It would be really nice if it's better than the Bone Blossom. But once again, it literally does not even have to be better than the Bone Blossom. It just has to be a Transcendent inside the shop. I think that would be really cool. I'm gonna be honest though, a Cosmic Pepper, bro, if it's gonna be like a multi-harvest or a single harvest, it will probably definitely be better than the Bone Blossom if it comes in Transcended. But let me know what you think of these suggestions. If you like this video, hurry up and watch this video right here on the screen, because this one's about to end and I would very much appreciate it. So go ahead, pick a video on the left, and I would very much appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.